If you like scary stories, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe. Nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering willows lay the forgotten village of Hollow Creek. Time seemed to drift by, leaving the village shrouded in an eerie silence. The most prominent feature was the dilapidated Blackwood Manor, perched atop the highest hill. Its windows, like vacant eyes, stared out at the village below. Locals whispered tales of the mansion's troubled past. They spoke of a tragedy, a love lost, and a vengeful spirit. They called her the Lady in White. Legend had it that she roamed the mansion, forever searching for her lost love. Some claimed to have heard her mournful cries echoing in the dead of night. Most villagers steered clear of the mansion, fearing the lady's wrath and the sorrow that clung to the very stones of the manor. The mansion stood as a constant reminder of the village's shadowed history. It was a place of whispers and shadows where the living dared not tread. Unlike the other villagers, young Clara possessed an unquenchable thirst for adventure. With her bright eyes and infectious laughter, she was a beacon of light in the often dreary village. Clara devoured tales of mystery and intrigue, her imagination ignited by the local legends. While others avoided Blackwood Manor, Clara found herself drawn to it. The whispers and warnings only served to pique her curiosity. She yearned to uncover the truth behind the legend of the Lady in White. One day, Clara decided to confront her fears. A powerful storm was brewing, the wind howling like a banshee through the trees. It was the perfect night to face the unknown. With a heart full of trepidation and excitement, Clara set off towards the imposing mansion on the hill. As darkness enveloped the village, Clara made her way up the winding path to Blackwood Manor. The wind whipped around her, tugging at her clothes and sending shivers down her spine. Rain lashed down, blurring her vision and making the path treacherous. Thunder roared, momentarily illuminating the mansion's crumbling facade. Each flash of lightning revealed the decaying grandeur of the once magnificent estate. Despite her fear, Clara pressed onward, her determination fueled by a strange mix of apprehension and anticipation. The storm seemed to intensify as she neared the mansion, as if mirroring the turmoil brewing within her. Reaching the top of the hill, she paused, catching her breath and steeling herself for what lay ahead. Taking a deep breath, Clara finally crossed the threshold and stepped inside. The air inside was heavy with the scent of dampness and decay. Cobwebs draped the room like macabre decorations, and dust lay thick on every surface. The only light came from the occasional flashes of lightning, briefly illuminating the dilapidated grandeur of the mansion's interior. Clara's footsteps echoed eerily in the silence as she cautiously made her way through the entrance hall. The storm raged outside, its fury seemingly contained within the mansion's walls. She could hear the wind whistling through cracks in the walls, creating a symphony of eerie sounds. As she ventured deeper into the mansion, she noticed a faint light emanating from a room at the end of the hallway. With a mix of trepidation and curiosity, Clara slowly approached the light, her heart pounding in her chest. As Clara neared the room, the soft sound of weeping reached her ears. It was a low, mournful sound that sent chills down her spine. Hesitantly, she pushed open the door and gasped. Bathed in a beam of moonlight stood a woman. She was draped in a flowing white gown that seemed to shimmer in the darkness. Her long, dark hair cascaded down her back, and her face, though pale and drawn, was strikingly beautiful. Tears streamed down her cheeks, leaving glistening trails in the dust that coated her skin. Clara stood frozen, unsure of what to do. She had heard the legends, but nothing could have prepared her for actually meeting the Lady in White. The woman turned towards Clara, her eyes filled with a deep, unfathomable sadness. "Who are you?" Clara whispered, her voice trembling slightly. The lady in white glided towards her, her movements fluid and ethereal. "I am Anya," she said, her voice a soft, mournful whisper. "And this mansion was once my home." Anya shared her tale of love and loss. She spoke of her beloved, a young man named Thomas, who had died tragically just before their wedding day. Her grief had been so profound that her spirit clung to the mansion, unable to find peace. "I cannot move on," Anya whispered, her voice filled with despair. "Not until Thomas's soul finds peace." Clara listened intently, her fear giving way to compassion. She had never believed in ghosts before, but there was something about Anya's sorrow that resonated deep within her. Section 7. The Search Begins. Anya explained that Thomas was buried in the village cemetery, but his grave remained unmarked. His family, heartbroken by his untimely demise, couldn't bear to acknowledge his final resting place. "Please," Anya pleaded, her spectral hand reaching out to touch Clara's arm, "find his grave and place a single white rose upon it. Only then can I find peace and join my beloved Thomas." Without hesitation, Clara agreed. She felt a surge of sympathy for the grieving spirit and was determined to help Anya find peace. Leaving the mansion, Clara braved the storm once more, her mind set on a new mission. The wind howled around her and the rain beat down relentlessly, but Clara didn't falter. She had a promise to keep. Section 8. Finding Peace. The village cemetery was a desolate place, overgrown with weeds and shrouded in an oppressive silence. Clara shivered as she made her way between the weathered headstones, her lantern casting long, dancing shadows. She searched tirelessly, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she stumbled upon a small, unmarked patch of earth. Intuitively, Clara knew she had found Thomas's resting place. Kneeling down, she carefully placed the single white rose upon the grave. As she did so, the storm that had raged all night suddenly ceased. The wind died down, and the rain stopped as if a switch had been flipped. Section 9. Clara's Courage. Looking up, Clara saw Anya standing before her, bathed in a warm, ethereal light. A look of peace and serenity had replaced the sorrow that had etched lines on her face. "Thank you," Anya whispered, her voice filled with gratitude. "You have given me the greatest gift." And with that, Anya's form began to fade, her ethereal glow illuminating the cemetery one last time before disappearing completely. Clara stood there for a moment, a sense of relief washing over her. She had faced her fears and helped a lost soul find peace. Turning to leave, Clara noticed a single white rose lying at her feet. It was as if Anya was thanking her one last time. Clutching the rose tightly, Clara made her way out of the cemetery and back to the village. Section 10. Whispers in the Wind. News of Clara's bravery spread throughout Hollow Creek like wildfire. The villagers who had once dismissed her as a foolish child now looked at her with admiration and respect. Blackwood Manor, once a source of fear and dread, seemed less menacing now. The lady in white was gone, her spirit finally at peace. Yet some villagers claimed that on stormy nights they could still hear the faint sound of weeping carried on the wind. A reminder of the tragic love story that had haunted Blackwood Manor for so long. And so, the legend of the Lady in White lived on, not as a tale of horror, but as a testament to the power of love, loss, and the courage of a young girl named Clara.